Here we go, another day, another one-page dictionary practice. So it's Wednesday, week 51, day 3. I'm gonna read page 59 from the Macquarie Dictionary. Okay, I'm gonna explain what I'm doing. Check yesterday's video, and if you stumbled upon this video, and let's read the page. Ashore. To shore, on, or to the land. Adjective. Ashore. To shore. So it's adverb. Ashore. An adjective. On land, opposed to aboard or afloat. Ashore. On land. Where is it? It's ashore. Ashram. Ashram. Community of people together for spiritual development as through yoga, meditation, etc. Hindi from Sanskrit. Asram. Ashram. Ashtray. Ashtray. A small tray, sosa, or bowl for tobacco ash. Ash Wednesday, first day of Lent. Asian, of belonging, it's adjective, so describes nouns of belonging to or characteristic of the continent of Asia or its inhabitants. A native of Asia. Asian bee. Noun, a bee, Apis cerama, common in Papua New Guinea and Southeast Asia, regarded as a pest in Australia because it carries the varroa mite, against which the European honey bee, widely used in commercial beekeeping, has no defenses. Sucks. Asian honeybee, Asian pear, Asiatic. So it's like same as Asian, Asiatic, Asiatic. Aside, on or to one side, to or at a short distance, apart, away from some position or direction, to turn aside, so to move aside, turn aside, it's adverb. So he turned aside, he jumped aside, because the car was coming, away from one's thoughts or consideration. So okay, so this is more like idealistic definition, away from one's thoughts or considerations. Put one's cares aside. To put one's cares aside. So put your worries aside now. Aside. Word spoken in an undertone, so as not to be heard by some of the people present. Spoken in undertone, so as not to be heard by some of the people present. Aside. I don't even know how I would use it in a sentence. Crap. A remark or comment which is incidental to the main subject. Incidental. What is incident? Let's find the word incidental. 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 Happening or likely to happen in a fortuitous or subordinate conjunction with something else. Incident incurred casually and in addition to the regular or main amount. Incurred casually. Expenses. Incidental expenses. Incident, minor expenses, a phrase. Incidental to, liable to happen in connection with, naturally pertaining to. Oh, there's some words that would benefit from some sample sentences, that's for sure. Okay. Asinine. Asinine. Stupid, obstinate, asinine. Stupid or obstinate. What an asinine man he was. Asinine man. Ask. To put a question, ask him. To seek, to be informed about, to ask the way, to seek by words, to obtain, request, to ask advice, ask a favor, to solicit, request, or, yeah, I think I skip ask. Askance, 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 askance with suspicion, mistrust, or disapproval. He looked askance at my offer. He looked askance at my offer. He looked askance at my offer with suspicion, askance. I told him about the deal. He stared at me with askance, with a side glance, sideways, askance, skew. To one side, out of line, obliquely, awry, askew. To one side, askew, out of line, askew, obliquely, oblique, askew, aslant, aslant, at the slant, slantingly, obliquely. Check, what's obliquely, obliquely. Obliquely. Obliquity. Instead of being oblique, neither perpendicular nor parallel to a given line or surface. It means like curved, slanting, sloping, or a solid, not having the axis perpendicular to the plane of the base, not straight or direct as a course. As a course, indirectly stated or expressed, certain oblique hints indirectly aimed at or reached as end results, not honest, deceptive, evasive, oblique answers. Interesting. Okay. So, the oblique, a slant, askew, a slant. Here we go. A slant. Add a slant, slantingly across Middle English on slant. Asleep. Adverb, in or into a state of sleep. Adjective, sleeping, dormant, inactive. The foot, hand, leg, numb. Euphemistic, dead. He's asleep. Okay, a slope. Slope, at the slope. A slope, at the slope, sloping. It was a slope. So very a slope. Or backyard is so a slope. So social, asocial. Psychosocial, avoiding or withdrawn from the environment, not social, asocial, inconsiderate of others, selfish, not scrupulous, not scrupulous, 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 scrupulous. Scrupulous, scrupulous, having scruples, scrupulous hesitation of or reluctance from conscientious other restraining reasons. Scruples, scrupulous, having scruples, having or showing a strict regard for what is right. Punctiliously or minutely careful, precise or exact, scrupulous. So unscrupulous is without refinement. Social, inconsiderate or other, not scrupulous, so unscrupulous person. So asocial, asocial, asocial. Asp, asp. Any of several poisonous snakes, especially Egyptian cobra asp, Naja Naja, said to have caused Cleopatra's death, and much used by snake charmers. The common European viper or adder. Asparagus, adder. What is adder? It's a freaking adder. Adder. A common European viper. Adder. A small venomous snake, widespread in northern Eurasia. Any of various other snakes, venomous or harmless, resembling the viper. Asparagus. Any plant of the genus Asparagus, especially A. officinalis, cultivated for its edible shoots. The shoots used as a table vegetable. Aspartame. 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 Asparagus. Aspartame. Aspartame. An artificial sweetener synthesized from amino acids which is 100 to 100 times sweeter than sugar and which is used as a low-calorie sugar substitute in soft drinks and other foods. Acronym derived from substance, chemical name aspartyl, phenyl, alanine and methyl ester. Wow, cool. Aspect. Appearance to the eye or mind. Look. The physical aspect of the country. Look, the look. Appearance to the eye or mind. Look. It's the same thing. Okay, so the aspect. I like the aspect of the car. It doesn't aspect view of the car. Look of the car. Aspect of the car. No, I don't think it works really well, this definition. Because it is a look, but more as a aspect, as a certain side of something, but not even visual side, but aspect. Could be aspect, like visual side, but this is not visual side. Aspect. Let's see what are other definitions. Countenance, facial expression, aspect. What? A way in which a thing may be viewed or regarded, both aspects of a question. View, commanded, exposure. The house has a southern aspect. 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 Grammar. In some languages, a category of verb inflection. Okay, we can skip this one. 6. Astrology. The relative position of planets as determining their influence. Okay. Aspen. Aspen, any of the various species of poplar America with leaves that tremble in the slightest breeze. Aspen. Aspen. Okay, so it's type of a tree. Aspen. Of poplar. Any of the various species of poplar is aspen. Of relating to the aspen, trembling or quivering like the leaves of the aspen. Okay. Asperger's syndrome. Asperger's syndrome. Asperger's syndrome or Asperger's, a form of autism characterized by a tendency to social isolation and eccentric behavior with some distinctive speech pattern and noticeable clumsiness across motor movements. Also Asperger's syndrome. Asperger's. Okay. Asperity, roughness or sharpness of temper, severity, acrimony, asperity, hardship, difficulty, rigor, roughness of surface, unevenness, asperity, something rough or harsh, asperity. So I don't even know how to use it in a sentence. Asperity with these definitions. Roughness or sharpness of temper, asperity. What is it? It's a noun, asperity. Hardship, asperity. Roughness, something rough or harsh. Asperity. Oh, how cool. Asperity. Aspersion. Noun. Aspersion. A damaging imputation. A derogatory criticism to cast aspersions on one's character. Aspersions. 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 So, he was casting aspersions on him. The Twitter is full of aspersions. Aspersions. Aspersion. Asphalt. any of the various dark-colored solid bituminous substances composed mostly of mixtures of hydrocarbons occurring native in various parts of the earth. A similar artificial substance by the byproduct of petroleum cracking operations. A mixture of such a substance with crushed rock. Sphyxia. Pathology, the extreme condition caused by lack of oxygen and excess of carbon dioxide in the blood. Asphyxia, caused by sufficient interference with respiration, as in choking. Well, asphyxia. The pathology, the extreme condition caused by lack of oxygen. Asphyxia. Asphyxiate. Produce asphyxia. Become asphyxiated. Aspic, a cold dish of meat, fish, etc., served set in the jellied mold. Jellied garnish made from fish or meat stock, sometimes with added gelatine. Aspic. Alright. Aspidistra, smooth stemless Asian herb. Aspidistra, family Liliaceae, bearing large evergreen leaves, often striped with once widely grown as a house plant, often seen as a symbol of a genteel respectability. Genteel, what's genteel? Genteel. Genteel, belonging or suited to polite society, well-bred or refined. Genteel, genteel, polite, elegant, stylish, affected, proper, manners and speech. Genteel, genteelly, gentleness. Genteel. Oh, okay, it's a cool word. Genteel. Aspirate, aspidistra, or is it? Okay, aspirate. Phonetics. A. Release a stop in such a way that the breath escapes with audible friction, as in title. There is written first T is aspirated. Title. Second is not. Okay, title. Aspirate. Okay. Title. It's not. To begin a word or syllable with an H sound, as in when. Okay. How opposed as to when. How. When, ow, how. Medicine, to remove fluids from body cavities by use of an aspirator. Ha. When, women. Medicine, to inhale foreign matter into the lungs. Aspirate. To draw or remove by suction. Noun. Phonetics, a puff of unvoiced air before or after another sound, represented in many languages by H, and in Greek by the sign of rough breathing. Medicine, material which has been removed from the body by suction. Syringe, medicine, foreign matter. Aspirate, matter which has entered the respiratory tract. Aspiration, the act of aspiration, lofty and ambitious desire. Aspiration, something aspired to, an ambition. Her aspiration is to travel through Africa. An act of aspiring, a breath. Medicine, the act of aspiring. Aspirational, of relating to aspiration as aspirational target, having an aspiration, ambitious, aspirational quota. Cool. Alright, so next page would be this one. That's interesting. These definitions are, sometimes it's difficult to know how to use the word. They have some sort of couple of sentences, but definitely not enough. Alright, thanks for watching.